Hello and welcome to another episode of Flower Breeding. In this episode, talk about the history of the firm Carter's Tested Seeds. This is a very old company that began 200 years ago, and only in relatively recent years shuttered. It was initially started by three horticulturalists, Mr. James Carter, Mr. Dunnett, and Mr. Beale. Carter opened up his shop in 1834, starting off as an agent for a German firm before going on his own. Carter later bought the companies Dunnett and Beale's, changing the company name to James Carter and Company. James Carter himself was born in 1797 to a seed trader called William Carter. The company bred several different types of sweet pea in 1837. Most of these were spontaneous variations collected from wild stock that was imported to Europe in 1699. He also propagated a type of pea called the Tangier pea and two varieties of winged pea. He died in 1855, however, and none of his children ever survived into adulthood. The company proper, however, tinkered on for quite some time. And in 1865, James Carter firm purchased a variety from Stephen Brown in Sudbury, a sweet pea variety called Scarlet Invincible. This variety was then displayed on a floral show. The Royal Horticultural Society gave it a first-class certificate that summer, the first sweet pea to ever win such a prize, and the cultivar became attributed to the James Carter & Co. Corporation. The award of the sweet pea led to greater enthusiasm for sweet pea, and so over the next 50 years, sweet pea became the most popular flower in the British Isles, alongside most of the other English-speaking countries and some parts of the continent of Europe. And this excitement, unlike the tulip bubble, did not collapse, as it became ingrained into almost every aspect of culture, including weddings. This was due to the heavy amount of fragrance of these older varieties, and the bright colors which up close look quite lovely. This began to turn after the First World War. Sweet peas continue to be grown and sold, but they are a shadow of their former selves in terms of popularity of old. And other plants that carry greater importance more consistently came out of the background and into the foreground once again, such as roses. But nonetheless, sweet peas still maintain a presence up until late 1954. In modern days, you can still find quite a few varieties of sweet pea, and there's firms that specialize in them, but it's come down quite a bit since then. Many of these Carter-issued catalogs were often made to look very regal and royal, showcasing the pride that the company had in its flowers. The Carter firm later sold begonias as soon as they became available in 1879, offering 7 varieties, a portion of which were grown and bred in their own nursery. And unlike sweet peas, begonias never lost their popularity. The James Carter & Co. was renamed Carter's Tested Seeds in the modern day. Due to the more lucrative nature of these horticultural crops, many impoverished farmers began working on producing seeds for these flowers due to them selling better than most other seeds at that time. The firm also purchased other companies such as Crystal Palace Nursery and various other farms. During the last quarter of the 1800s, Edward J. Beale remained the senior partner within the firm. In the 20th century, Mr. Dunnett and Mr. Beale took control of the company, but continued to use the name Carter's Tested Seeds. One of Beale's descendants, Harold Beale, alongside another descendant of Dunnett, W.H. Dunnett, took charge of this company. And both descendants continued to use the breeding strategies laid out by James Carter. The continued improvements in sweet pea breeding eventually netted the company an award called the Eckford Gold Medal in 1937. The company began floundering once again during World War II when some German bombs fell on the greenhouses, which led to another member of the staff to obtain greater prominence, Mr. Ness. But from then on, no new cultivars were bred, as the war prevented much of that work. And in later years, eventually, Carter's Tested Seeds was purchased by the company Sutton's, a larger seed manufacturing firm. And so ended the age of James Carter, a 200-year legacy of plant breeding and great beauty. Thank you for watching.